Welcome to the session where Sunrise Supported Living Limited offers hints and tips about parenting. Today is the 23rd of May 2024, and I will be discussing worries where children's services appear to have been involved through one's lineage. Grandparents, parents, and now the person has got children's services involvement regarding the care of the children. Just in brief, I want to make you aware that children's services involvement is there mainly to make sure that children are protected from harm and also that their needs are met. It could be a various range of needs, is that they are prioritized. Whether your child has got involved with gangs, your child has got some disabilities, your child has a certain health condition, maybe you are not taking your children to school, you are missing appointments, all those are worries. But the issue is to demonstrate that you are doing something to address that concern. That's when you'll break that cycle. Today, I just want to give you an example of a possible outcome when the social worker would have completed the assessment. The outcome of the assessment will identify the worries, how they impact on children, how they could be addressed, and what they would like to be displayed to demonstrate that the worries have been addressed. They will refer times to say this is their safety goal, that children are no longer exposed to any worries. I'll just give you an example, a brief one, but this one will be a summary of the outcome that has got a number of identified worries in one paragraph. But otherwise, in general, you would have each worry separately with how it could be addressed and how that could be resolved. So I'll just give you an example of the worry, and I'll discuss how at times you find that people are in pubs that are open at times 24 hours. Some people are intoxicated or under the influence in the morning. Some finish at 3 a.m. and people are under the influence. Some people you find they are screaming, fighting. You ask yourself, why is it that myself I have got children's services involvement when these other people I don't see children's services being involved with them? I will discuss that. But just in brief, an outcome could read as follows: that the social worker, health visitor, the GP, the police are worried that your baby was left on a pushchair for the majority of the night and you were woken up in the morning by your 7-year-old child to attend to the baby that was screaming because of hunger. You returned at midnight under the influence of alcohol, arguing and quarreling, which escalated to physical violence, and your partner fell next to the baby that was on a pushchair, risking injury to the baby. Your children missed school because you woke up late to prepare them for school, and you both had your faces covered in bruises because of the fight that you had when you returned late at midnight. So we say, if these worrying episodes do not cease, your baby risks suffering a life-changing injury or death. Your children will fall behind the age expected levels in education and risk not achieving in life. Your children's emotional well-being risks being negatively impacted with risks of poor mental health because of witnessing domestic abuse and domestic violence. Your children risk being inappropriately modeled regarding partner relationships and techniques of resolving differences, because of they see you when you've got differences you fight instead of adopting acceptable methods of resolving differences as such. So if these are the worries that the social worker would have picked up during the assessment, and the social worker would like to come up with a plan to see that at some point you'll be able to resolve these differences that you have, resolve them in an amicable way that will be acceptable. So to address the worries identified, the social worker will say we would like you to engage with services that would have been outlined in a plan that will be given to you to build better relationships, not to be controlled by alcohol and domestic abuse. You have to regulate your own behavior, not your behavior to be regulated by what you would have digested, injected, or taken in. So you need to remain able to control your behavior. The social worker could come up with a safety goal and say that for us to be confident that your children are growing up in an appropriate environment where they will realize their potential, they'll say your children should be brought up in a loving home where you display reciprocal respect to each other, free from domestic and alcohol abuse, and where your children's health and developmental needs are prioritized. So this is the assessment. The worries have been identified. Your task now is to make sure that each of those worries are addressed. The social worker will come up with a plan which will explain that this is the worry, which could be alcohol abuse. Who needs to address this? It is yourself assisted by a specialist from the substance misuse team, and also they'll explain why are we worried about this, explain the impact. In this case, we saw that children have already missed school. You fell next to a baby, almost that baby suffered an injury. So all these, they will be outlined, and what is it that would like to be achieved at the end of the day to be confident that children are not at any risk of harm, is that you display a healthy relationship where you respect each other's opinions, you discuss them, you resolve them. You are not regulated by the use of alcohol, but you regulate your own behavior. In the question of why is it that, as I see a lot of people, they attend pubs, they finish late, early in the morning, one is already seen under the influence of alcohol. Some, it could be that they don't have children in their care, but some would be having children in their care. What they do is they make plans. They would know that maybe once a month we want to go out, have fun, chill out. But what they do, they arrange either with their trusted friend or with their family member that on that day children will be having will be offered care, maybe by their grandparents, uncle, aunts. They go out, they know that their children are safe, they won't miss school. Whether they come late, they come to their house, they are arguing, no child is there. They've made arrangements. There are people who are aware of their limitations. They know that if I go to the pub, I take one glass, I can't stop. So even if the person is a driver, he has got a car, they don't drive to the pub. They know that after when I finish, I will not be in the right state to drive a car. But some people are neglectful. Is aware that he has taken alcohol, but will still drive until he's stopped by police and found that his alcohol levels are above the limit, and you're arrested. Points may be deducted or you may be disqualified. So the issue is, what arrangements have you made to make sure that your children are safe? You may be surprised and say that I see this family, they are quarreling, they are arguing, but they've made arrangements already that their children won't witness whatever is happening. They've made arrangements so their children, in other words, are safe. Even if they come under the influence, their aunt, uncle has got the care of the children, will take them to their school. We don't encourage, obviously, people fighting and so forth, but want to make sure that when you know you've got certain limitations, have a certain plan in place. Meet you next time. Thank you for listening. I will further make some updates regarding the care of the children. Bye.